He was so terrified by what he saw that he turned and ran. Behind him, 3 men on horseback appeared not far away. In a panic, he dropped to the ground and hid behind a rock, trying to avoid the bullets. His gun was empty. If they caught him, he was dead for sure. With no other choice, he bolted out of the woods and sprinted down the weed-covered hillside. But that decision was a terrible mistake. The forest had cover. Out on the endless open plain, there was nowhere to hide. The 3 riders slowly approached him on horseback. Desperate to survive, he continued crawling forward, but one of the men stepped up to him, demanding to know where his partner was. When he didn't get the answer he wanted, he stomped on the man's injured leg again and again. Even though the pain made him scream, he still refused to speak. Finally, the man stopped and ordered his men to bring a rope. They looped it around his neck and dragged him behind a horse. His body scraped across the ground, and the choking pressure around his neck nearly killed him. Unable to endure it anymore, he finally revealed that his partner Corey had been injured and fled north on horseback. He assumed that telling them everything would spare his life, not realizing that in this lawless land, no one's word could be trusted. The man's name was Trace. 5 of them had robbed a bank, but 2 partners ran off early to keep the money for themselves. There was no way Trace would let them get away with that. At that moment, Corey's injuries were so severe that he passed out. Just then, a farmer named Henry happened to find him. Henry turned Corey over and confirmed he was still alive, but the gruesome wound on his right chest was fatal. Without immediate treatment, he wouldn't survive 30 minutes. Henry scooped up wet dirt and pressed it onto the wound, then pulled out a cloth to wrap it as best he could. When he turned around, Henry froze. There was a gun, and lying on the ground nearby was a leather bag filled with cash. As a veteran who had crawled out of piles of corpses, Henry sensed danger instantly. He didn't want trouble. He turned to leave, but if he walked away now, Corey was as good as dead. His conscience wouldn't allow him to abandon someone dying. Henry picked up the bag, lifted Corey onto his horse, erased the traces at the scene, and led the horse back home. But Henry had no idea that this single act of kindness would soon bring disaster upon him and his son.